I want to give a little illustration about school funding in Texas. Fun, right? Here is your public school, here's your private school. Now, public schools do get federal funding, but we don't know what that's going to look like because Trump is closing the Department of Education. So we shall see. We shall see. But yes, public schools get federal funding. Private schools really don't. They can through programs, like if they're serving students with disabilities, but they'll be in the same boat as the rest of us if the Department of Education goes away. So federal, we'll just say, they give us a little bit of funding. The thing is that Republicans in Texas, they try to make the case that it's okay to give private school vouchers to private schools because they don't get the federal funding. Let's move on. The next form is money from the state. This is the basic allotment, okay? Now, the basic allotment in Texas is $6,160. So let's do something fun. Let's cut up this line just so we can see something interesting, okay? 2 lines. So the basic allotment in Texas is around $6,000, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was fun. Now, private school vouchers. Now that those have passed, students will be getting money from the state as well. Guess how much money they get? $10,000. You're right. $6,000 to public school, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the private schools. Interesting. Now, there's other sources of funding. We also have local taxes. Now, see, the thing is like in Travis County, in my beautiful home, I pay a lot in property taxes. Now, does this go straight to my school? Oh, no, it doesn't, because Texas has recapture, which is equity. That is equity. So let's say we get 1, and then the rest of this goes to the poor Republicans in rural districts who I have to support with my taxes. Moving on. Investments. Here we go. Oh no. The public schools, they don't get to make money off of investments. The private schools do. They can buy land. Yeah. They can buy land, they can rent it out, they can run a whole business and make money for their school. They can have endowments, all sorts of things. Can the public schools do that? No. The public schools are reliant on the Texas legislature to fund them. Do they do that? No, they don't. What other sources of funding do we have? Families. Now, if you go to a school, you have been asked to give money, right? Now, the public schools, the money usually goes to the PTA, sometimes directly to the school. That depends on the principal, how it's set up. Let's say you get a little bit of money from the parents, right? Now, the richest families in the state are in the private schools. So let's just say this is how much money they give their schools. You see? You see the funding? Wonderful. So that's how we get the funding. Now, let's go further. Private school vouchers. If a child moves from the public school to the private school, this school loses money. Governor Abbott and the Texas GOP are misleading liars, just like President Trump. They like to say things that are kind of true, but they leave out key details. Let's change these. Imagine these are something else. This is the General Education Fund in Texas, and this is a whole other account. So they're saying, we're not taking money away from schools because the money for the private school vouchers, it comes from a whole other fund. You see? Okay, but when students go to the private school, Some of the funding that this school got goes with the student. I don't know the percentage. It's tied to the daily attendance rate. FYI, that's why you need to make sure your kids are in school, because your school does not get paid when your kids are not there. But that money does go away. Everybody clear? Let's go further. Now, let's just say I'm a conspiracy theorist, and let's say that there are billionaires in West Texas that want everyone to be Christians. Nuts, right? Let's say there are billionaires all over the country who want everyone to be Christians. That sounds insane. Oh, it does. I know. But see, it's true. It's true.